Assalamualaikum to our beloved lecturers, Madam May, and to our beloved classmates. Hoping all of you are doing fine during this conditional movement control order. My name is Nur Eli Alia binti Muhammad Zai, and I am from Group 2. And today, my group will present to you on the past year question from June 2020 paper, Part C, question number 2. Before we proceed to the answer, let me help you to read the question first. The situation goes, Warisan Berhad is among the largest retailing chains based in Kuala Lumpur. Its operation chain includes trendy fashion boutiques, a bookstore chain, and big department stores. The board of directors comprises the chairman or CEO, 3 executive and 2 non-executive directors. Recently, there have been problems with the development of new department stores. On a number of occasions, the projects have fallen behind schedule and the cost has been much greater than expected. The investors have been expressed their concern about the project. They believe the outcome of the project was unable to represent value for money. Throughout the project, one of the non-executive directors, Mr. Muaz, criticized the way the project had been approved and monitored. He claimed that the board had been led by the senior managers in the project planning department and had acted as no more than a rubber stamp for what they wanted to do. Furthermore, the period of meeting is too short without having detailed discussion towards the proposed project. On top of that, none of the board members had any experience and knowledge about the project. So based on the given situation, we are required to explain any 3 factors that can limit the effectiveness of the board meeting in Warisan Berhad. The second question, assess any 2 corporate governance issues within Warisan Berhad in the light corporate governance best practice and recommend any improvement you will consider necessary to those structures. To answer this question, I will pass to other group members to read the answer for each question for you. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Umur Dania Akila binti Rozi Azhari, and today I will presenting about the factor that can limit the effectiveness of the board meeting in Warisan Berhad. First factor is practicing a micromanagement. It is critical that the BOD focus its attention on the big picture and on item of critical importance. For instance, a board that meets once a month for 2 hours each time, approximately 24 hours meeting time per year to make all of the major decisions. It will be extremely difficult to do any effective job within those 24 hours. If the board also spend time on matters that are more approximately handled by management and other company staff. From the above situation where Mr. Muaz as a non-exec director criticized the period meeting too short as the meeting without having detailed discussion toward the proposed project. To avoid micromanagement, company secretaries supposedly gather and prepare the agenda from the departments. Company secretary must check on the agenda before bringing the agenda into the meeting. The meeting also should be separate whether the discussion is for important things or less important in order to avoid overlooked things. The second factor is they have no strategic plan. Strategic plan is about the process of documenting and establishing direction of the business. It involves the describing in board papers the process of the project. The flow of the project must be explained in detail in order to manage the project efficiently. The lack of strategic plan that provide a clear direction in more cases will also lead to board performance. From the above cases, Mr. Muaz, a non-executive director, criticized the way of the project had been approved and monitored. which he claimed that the board had been led by senior managers in the project planning department, and he acted as no more than a rubber stamp for what they wanted to do. From the situation in Warisan Berhad, we can say that the company did not have a strategic plan related to the project. It is because the company did not have enough discussion with the department and the board of directors. It can be seen when Mr. Muaz said that the board only acts as the rubber stamp, which means he did not explore more on the proposal and did not do a further discussion about the project. That is why the project leads to failure because of lack of information and they are not seeking advice from the expert first.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Nadia Hakimah binti Saiful Hazni. So let's proceed with the next answer for number 3. Failure to remove unproductive members. So people who are not carrying out their commitment as BOD become free riders and major blocks to overall board effectiveness. So failure of board members only lead to losses for the company instead of the benefits. Unproductive member usually do not participate or attend to the meeting. They just sit still and did not contribute any effort in order to achieve the company's goals. This only give losses to the company as they are not giving any ideas or recommendations for the company's profit. So, ineffective board should not reappoint because it will just a waste of position where that position can be filled to that people who are well qualified for the place. So the BOD must be chosen wisely because of the experience and the knowledge that they have, not because they have a relationship with the directors or family members, as they may affect to the company performance. So, supposedly Warisan Berhad must have a process to evaluate performance and make recommendation regarding their future service with the board, as none of the board members of Warisan Berhad have experience and knowledge about the project because of that affect to the problems with the development of new department store. So this company also must remove the board of directors who is not efficient doing their work for as for the company and the shareholder benefits. One of the issue in this case study is lack of board effectiveness. On board and its position as the cornerstone of good corporate governance have been mentioned. The BOD has a primary responsibility of overseeing the firm financial reporting process. Thus, a board of directors together with management will try to produce a financial statement that show the company achieve a recommendable profit. So requiring a mandates a healthy balance of executive and non-executive directors, and at least 30% of female diversity must be required as mentioned in MCCG 2017. There are businesses that prefer to comply only on paper. Board appointments are still recommended by word of mouth or fellow board member recommendation. It is usual for promoters, friends, and family and management to be named as a member of the board. And an effective board develops and promotes its collective vision of the company's purpose, its culture, values, and the behavior it wishes to promote in conducting their business. So the BOD must demonstrate ethical leadership, conducting the management team, reviewing the work of proposal from the teams. They should not act as a rubber stamp without having deep discussion and reviewing the proposal as it may affect to the company. For the Warisan Berhad company, they must ensure that their BOD attends training program to enable the directors to effectively discharge their duties. On the other hand, they also can seek the information from the expert people before approving a proposal. So in addition, this company, Warisan Berhad also must have an effective nomination committee in order to determine who the board leaders will be for many years into the future. Nomination committee is really important for them to choose the board with experience and knowledge that will work for the company for company shareholder benefits.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. So my name is Nura Adila Mitek Borazim and I will continue for the next point, which is the issue that arise in warisan berhad. Okay, for the second issue, the warisan berhad is not splitting the role of the chairman and the CEO. So actually the company should splitting the role because the chairman and the CEO have different roles and interests in the company. So the chairman role is he must ensure that the board sets and implements the company's direction and strategy effectively, and he also must act as the company's lead representative, explaining aims and policies to the shareholders. So the chairman role is more to the shareholders' benefits, and then for the CEO is more to manage and achieve the higher profits for the company. Okay, for the CEO for the CEO's role, he must take the responsibility for the performance of the company, and next he also must build and maintain effective management teams. For the other hand, the CEO also is an interface between the board and the employees. So actually the CEO and the chairman have different interests. So the role actually must be split, as has been mentioned in Malaysian Code on Corporate Governance and MCCG 2017 on practice 1.3, where it stated that the position of the chairman and the CEO must be held by different individuals. So we can say that the chairman and CEO must be split to enhance the company's interests and profits. So the MCCG practice must be followed. Otherwise, the company must explain why the company did not follow the MCCG rules. Okay, so the recommendation for warisan berhad, they must split the role of the chairman and the CEO in order to avoid conflict of interest between the chairman interest and the CEO's interest, where a company cannot hold by an individual of the position of chairman and CEO. They must remove the joint in order to reduce the temptation to act more in self-interest rather than purely in the interest of the shareholders. So the joint of the role must be removed to different individuals in order to avoid the self-interest of the CEO. Okay, so the CEO maybe want to have for his own self-interest rather than the shareholders' interest. Okay, so the separate chairman role provides a clear track of accountability for the CEO and the management team. Okay, when the CEO is separated, with CEO and chairman role is separated for two individuals, so the CEO can focus more on the profits of the company, of the accountability of the company, where the chairman can focus on the shareholders' interests. There are many successful companies that implement this splitting role, which are such as Disney, Dell, and Oracle. And there are a lot more company that are splitting this role in order to increase the performance of the company. Okay, and so that's all. Thank you.